Hey, good evening, boys and girls. Good evening, and welcome to the Cage Side with Christopher James UFC 251 post-fight show. What a night of fights we had, especially early in the night. You know, the last two fights, co-main and main event. Not overly exciting, but they did. They were good fights. So, but we're going to get all this rolling for you right now. Let me go ahead and do a quick edit here. Feel free to share this around with all your friends and family and all that good stuff. We're live right now. Cage Side with Christopher James, UFC 251 post-fight show. I just got to do a little work right here real quick, and then we can jump into this card. I hope you guys enjoyed the fights. I did. I had a good night. Had a filet mignon. Wife cooked it up with some mashed potatoes. Really good stuff. We might have Jeff Neal joining us, and we might have Justin James. I'm waiting to hear back from them. If they're coming in, we will add them in. Let me just go ahead and hit super necessary. Hashtag Cage Christopher James. Hashtag Nigeria Nightmare. Hashtag Fight Island. Hashtag Yaz Island. Let's go. We're live. All right, guys. So how y'all doing, man? I hope you had a good time tonight enjoying the fights. What's up, Robert, man? Great night of fights, man. Great night of fights, man. And yeah, like I said, I'm out here in Abu Dhabi on Yaz Island, man. It's nice to be here, man. I'm going to jump in that octagon a little bit later on out on the beach and maybe kick somebody's ass. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. You know what I mean? But anyway, so let's jump right down to the beginning of the card. I'm going to scroll down right now. I've got my notes over here on the screen with me. La, 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 la. All right, so the hell did I just click on over here? I don't even know. We'll leave it right there. What the hell? So first fight of the night. Let's go all the way down. Oh, here we go. First fight of the night, Martin Day versus Davey Grant. I took what's up, Jason? How you doing, man? Jason Ellis from Relentless Management. Robert James Nealon, a good friend of mine, also tuning in. Like I said, guys, feel free to share the show. Let's have some fun tonight, man. I'd love to talk to some of you guys. I might even invite some people to jump in with me. You just never know. But first fight of the night, Martin Day versus Davey Grant. Went to the third round. I picked Martin Day to win this fight. I felt he was winning this fight all the way through. But then, Grant just took over, and man, he just fucking boom, savage knockout. I've had my knockout, my post-fight winners, and I picked. Well, I'll get to all that after the show, after we pick all the fights. But Davey Grant definitely might have, bagged himself $50,000 with that fucking knockout. Man, it was absolutely incredible. Yeah, the guys at MMA Junkie had about 2018 Grant. I didn't see it that way, but then he just came out and finished the fight. But, what do I know? I'm just, some schmuck. So it is what it is. It was a good fight, man. If you guys got any comments on that fight, as we go over these fights, please comment on the Facebook page here, and I'll respond to them. I can see all the comments. I even need to put them up on the screen. So we are live right now. Like I said, KHR Christopher James, the UFC 251 recap show. Love to have some commentary from you guys. And we'll get to Usman later on in the fight there. So fear not there, Mr. Daniel. It was a good night of fights. I felt that the co-main and main didn't deliver the way I wanted them to, but as Daniel Converse says, Usman is kind of a boring fighter, and he is. That's just the truth. It's not to rip on him, it's not to shred on him. He's a legitimate beast in there. But he has a boring style. The funny thing is, a lot of people give him all those props and everything, but Woodley was one of those guys. Hey, Jacob, you want to jump in with us, bro? Let me know. You can be my recap partner. Let me know, and I'll send you the link. Make sure you have headphones over if you're coming in. So Martin Day, Davey Grant gets the big win. And he needed it too. So it worked out well for him. That was a good way to start the night out. A big knockout to start the night. and we had a lot of fun. As we move into the next bout on the card, I picked Martin Day to win that one, so I was 0-1 after that first fight. Next we move on to Vanessa Mello. Oh, Dean Toole. I will bring Dean Toole in. Dean, let me get you a link, bro. We can get you a link. Bing, 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 bing. All right, let me get Dean over here. Dean Toole. Message. Yeah, I'm bringing the boss man. All right, Dean, I'm sending you the link right now, so come on in. And hell, we might even bring Jacob in as well. I just don't know, man. You know, that's how we do stuff here, man. Sometimes just off the cuff. But Dean, I hope you have your headphones with you so we don't get any echoes going on. But anyway, so next fight on the card, Vanessa Mello versus Carol Hossa. I picked Mello to win this fight. Even though she was the underdog going in, I picked her strictly because of the fact that she came in heavy. And as we've seen over the last couple of years, I think 17 out of 20 or 16 out of 19, whatever the number was, of fighters that miss weight and come in, extra heavy, win their fights. They lose their money, but they win their fights. So it's just one of those crazy things. But you never know. So, but it was clear domination for Hossa all the way through. I should have picked her just because she was the favorite. But, sometimes I like to go against the grain. Now, this fight right here coming up, Raulian Paiva versus Zhalgas Zhumagulov. D Toole, the CEO, the man behind Island Fights. Actually, his screen name tonight is Masvidal 1. Pavia versus Zhumagulov. Zhumagulov got robbed in that fight. The judges tonight, man, had some really sketchy calls. Even though some of the decisions were right, it doesn't excuse the judges for making a bad score. So, Dean, I'm guessing you watched the whole card this evening?
I watched most of it.
All right. Well, before we even get into the card, man, let's just bring this up to these guys out here because I want to mention it. I wrote an article yesterday about PFL and not coming back.
I want to explain my screen name.
I like it. Masvidal won.
You know why he won?
Why do you win? Because he got paid.
Exactly.
I know who you are, boss. Pensacola,
probably 6.5 times more.
Yeah. Before we go into the whole fight card with Dean, and he might stay for the whole card, he might not, I don't know. But Island Fights is coming back. Pensacola, July 25th. Up there at the Haji Shrine. It's like our home away from home when we're not at the Bay Center. It's been a while. We've all been chomping at the bit to get back to work, man. It's going to be a big amateur show. But Dean, how excited are you to finally get back to work, get these guys into the ring and get some fights going? I know you because I work for you, and you're always excited about the fights. But are you a little more excited about this return now because we've been shut down through no fault of our own?
Well, I'm super excited that the fights are coming back 100%. I guess it hasn't really hit me until fight week, especially since last year because we were so freaking busy. We had a fight, I think in 9 weeks we had 3 or 4 events.
Yeah, we did. We had a good run going there.
I was used to constantly doing fights. So I'm like, now when you used to be prepared for a fight 6 weeks out, now I'm like 2 weeks out, 1 week out. I'm like getting prepped for a fight. So, but super stoked, excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. I was looking at the card, and you said it was just about half the card. The card that you've got so far, from what you've put out there for us to see, is already awesome. I mean, you could stop right now where you are if you wanted to, because it's already awesome. But I guess we're going to end up about 16 fights in, and I can't wait, dude.
I think 18.
18?
I think 18, yeah.
That's fucking even.
I mean,
even
90% of the reason we did this card is 1, our other venue wasn't available. 2, we kind of want to get our toes wet with the whole COVID thing and see, at first we didn't know if anybody was going to buy tickets. Like the whole world's kind of freaked out. So we didn't know if anybody was going to buy tickets. We didn't know if people were going to feel safe about coming. We didn't know if the fighters were going to want to compete. You just don't know. So you just, this was a good test. Tickets are like we're only selling 50% of the venue, and I'm not even sure we'll have any on fight night to
Yeah,
sell.
I know Kathy Peterson, who's a big supporter of Island Fights, and she always sells tables for us. She put up a post yesterday that all her tables that you gave her to sell are sold. She said Pensacola always comes through for her, and that's a real encouraging sign because, like you said, we don't know, how people are going to respond. But
I've been
seeing that,
selling 2 or 3 tables like every single day for people I've never met in my whole life. It's the
that's
weirdest
great.
thing. You got to think there's no bars open. I guess restaurants are only at a certain capacity that serve alcohol, but it's still not the same like setting. So this will be something that people can do and still go out, have a drink, watch something live. We'll be providing masks for everybody in the venue. You could wear it
Island
or you
Fights
don't have
mask.
to wear it. Yep. So you can
That's
choose to
awesome.
wear it or not. It's your choice. So I don't know. It's gonna be fun, but it'll be good to get our feet wet and just see how this thing plays out. Our 10-year anniversary is coming up in September,
I know.
so I want to make sure everything runs smooth before we jump back into a big UFC Fight Pass event. But September
Absolutely.
should be a
Now,
big UFC Fight Pass event.
yeah, and that's right. 10 years, man. When you started this run, did you even see 10 years down the road, or did you just say, man, I just hope I get through this first fucking fight card? And now look at you, 10 years in. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, whenever I do stuff, I tend to stick with it. So if I'm gonna do something, I always tell people like I'm not gonna do it unless I'm gonna do it. Like 7 days a week. When you own a business, any type of business, you can't part time it. So I knew I was going to be in it for the long haul. So, and I think I'll probably be in it until I'm like 70 years old. Who knows? Unless I die from stress.
I think you'll stay in it until you get the white beard that you want, and then you might move on and show off the
Oh,
sexy white beard.
it's
Huh?
white.
You said
It's
you wanted a
white.
full
It's
white beard.
magic. It's magic.
No, don't. It's not white now, but one day I remember we were talking one day. You said something. You want your whole beard to just be fucking white, the whole thing. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's
Yeah, can't wait for that. It's gonna be awesome.
So how much of the card did you watch? Did you watch the early prelims?
I started watching Volkan.
Okay, so and
Which
that's
is
a
a
good fight to start
badass
with.
fight. That dude he fought.
Yeah,
That dude
Volkan Ozdemir versus Jiri Prochazka. I picked Prochazka to win, and a lot of people said I was crazy, but I went back and looked at
Who gets Volkan for their UFC debut?
right.
Wild, crazy. I would have
Crazy.
never in a million years picked anybody else.
But I picked this guy because he was 26-1, 25 finishes, 23 first round knockouts. I mean, the guy was legit. And I went back and looked at video.
Contract too.
Huh?
He turned down the UFC.
Yeah, originally because he said he wasn't ready. That's ballsy. I mean, it reminds me of our own Michael Davis because he got a call to go take a UFC fight and he stayed with us. He said, I want to get a little more work, and he stayed with Island Fights, did a fight. He could have left, and you wouldn't have been mad because it's Mike Davis.
He could have left. What was it? What's crazy is Brandon Davis ended up taking that fight and won that fight.
I remember.
I think he might have got a $50,000 bonus that night too. But Mike Davis got offered that fight right when he was walking to the scale to fight. It was the UFC. It was like our first UFC fight.
Was he fighting Brito?
Was it the Roy Jones fight? When he fought Montreal James.
Oh yeah, it was Montreal James.
Yeah, when he fought Montreal James, we're literally standing right by the stage. He's about to walk up and do the weigh-ins, and I get a call from Abe and then Pete White said, "Nah." He said, "We don't do that to people." I'm like, wow, So
I was glad that he stayed with us, and I think it worked out best for him. It gave him a little more seasoning, and now he's in the UFC where he's supposed to be. And I know he had a bad weight cut and missed his last fight, but he's really been.
Sometimes a loss can really, really help you. So
yeah, and he's been busting ass training with Daru, Phil Bam Bam Daru. His strength and conditioning is off the charts. He's always been a genetic looking freak, like the smallest waist on a guy that weighs like 165 pounds I've ever seen in my life. But he's just so
got like a 27-inch waist or something.
I don't even know how he does. I haven't had a 27-inch waist since I can't even remember. Probably like when I was like 27.
Yeah, and then Jacob Kilburn's down there full time.
Yep, Brock Weaver went down there now. And I'm liking to see that Brock.
Hopefully he'll be full time. down there. But he's living with King Mo. He's going to every strength and conditioning class.
Yep.
Like, I mean, he's loving it down there. He's like, he feels leaps and bounds better just from being there for like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, I see his posts on Twitter and stuff, and some of his Facebook stuff, and you could just, they're kicking his ass. And it's someone you can feel the emotion of him getting his ass kicked that day, but
Yeah,
he's
training with
relishing in it and
Renato
he's learning.
Moicano every day. It's absolute stud.
Yeah. All right. So this Ozdemir and a Prochaska fight. Like I said, I picked him. I went back and looked at the video. His style was so awkward and funny to watch. And I think he's going to be a star, but I don't want to get too sold on him, like people did on Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker came in with a flash.
That's exactly what I thought earlier. I'm like, man, is he him? I'm just confused. Like, what's going to happen with Johnny Walker? Like, maybe they should just fight.
But this kid came out and beat Ozdemir in his debut.
I don't think it's an easy fight at all. There's like 10 absolute murderers row in that division. So, yep. I mean, every one of them. The guy who did Volkan fight last fight?
Volkan's last fight. Hang on, I'll pull that up right here.
Another fucking killer, man. Like, dude, that just threw every single, like, if anybody else, I think he's the only person that can like withstand those type of fighters.
Volkan's last fight was in December, I believe. Alexander Rakchik. He beat him by a split decision, and before that, he knocked out Ilir Latifi.
Yeah, it's Rekic or Retic,
or whatever. Yeah, Rakic.
Yeah, that dude, Johnny Walker, the dude that fought tonight. I can't pronounce his name. Dominic
Jiri Prochaska.
Look at these dudes. Like, who would want to fight any of those dudes? If I'm John Jones, send me to heavyweight ASAP.
Yeah, I mean, you got Dominic Reyes who gave him a tough fight. Anthony Smith, DC's not in there anymore.
I mean, fuck. Look at Glover Teixeira on a tear right now. I mean, everybody.
Didn't he get Thiago Santos? That's a fight coming up. Didn't they just book
Santos and
Glover?
That's
going to be a fucking battle for the ages. I can't wait to see that one. All right, so Amanda Ribas versus Paige Van Zandt. This fight went exactly how I expected it. I knew Van Zandt was on her way out the door. I know she's a first-round client now. So, the heart hurts a little bit, but I just knew Ribas was a tougher fighter, better record, better, well-rounded all the way around. And the interesting thing is going to be, and I know with first round, they make miracles happen for their fighters. So she still might stay in the UFC, but she's been very vocal recently about, I make more money not fighting than I do fighting, which says to me that
you'd be dumb to not test the market. Can you compete at that level, at the highest level, or can you go to another organization and get paid buku dollars and be built the right way? Like, if you're running the UFC, do you match her with Ribas? Hell,
I wouldn't have.
Never. Like, you got to do it the right way. This girl hasn't fought in how long?
Had year and a half.
Broken 2 surgeries for a broken arm. Like, it's just like Rousey. Like, why bring her back and let her fight Amanda Nunes? It's just sometimes things are questionable. Like, why would you take away someone's star power or value?
Yeah, and she does have star power and value to bring. And one of the other reasons I picked her to lose was because before the fight, she did an interview with Damon Martin of MMA Fighting, and she had referenced having to go back in for another surgery on that same arm. She said it's not 100%. And at that point right there, if I had any thoughts of her winning, which I didn't anyway, that really sealed the deal to pick against her, because if she's not 100% healthy, she shouldn't have even been taking a fight, and she wanted the fight. She took the fight.
Think about it. She had 1 fight left on her contract.
Yep, she's got to get out the way.
She hasn't renegotiated her deal, because obviously whenever you go renegotiate or restructure your deal, you're going to get an extension. That extension could be anywhere from 4 fights to 10 fights. So what were they going to extend her to? So it was a big risk fighting Ribas, but maybe she fights her and says, hey, I needed surgery, but now I'm a free agent, does the surgery, test the market. Maybe she goes back to the UFC, they understand her value, or maybe she tests the market and goes to 1FC or goes to one of these other shows, Bellator or whoever, and they might, build her up correctly.
Maybe she'll come to Island Fights to do one before she picks before she picks a big winner. Hey,
She gets more for an Instagram post than what we could pay her.
of course, I know, but we got some connection with FRM. Maybe they'll say, hey, go take a fight down there in Florida.
You never know.
You never know. Another female fight came up next. Jessica Andrade and Rose Namajunas. I picked Rose to win. She got the nod. She went out there. She looked great. She got her ass kicked in the third round. One of the judges gave the fight to Andrade.
I think she broke her orbital, but I'm not sure if anybody.
Yeah, her nose too. She said she had
her nose. I think she was having trouble breathing, but she definitely slowed down. But the first and second round,
all her
striking, distance, range,
head movement,
everything she does, it's better than even the guys. She's probably got some of the best striking I've ever seen in the UFC.
Very technically proficient. What was great about that fight was listen to Pat Barry.
Punches, like doesn't look like she has a lot of pop, but she's catching people when they're coming in with her jab by staying on the end and like really rocking people just with that. She's got a great jab, their coach Trevor Whitman is probably one of the best coaches in MMA.
Yeah, and having Pat Barry in her corner because the best thing about this is you can hear all that. He's like, "That's right, keep doing this, keep doing." And she was feeding on that.
When you fight somebody that has knockout power like Andrade, like she's scary. It doesn't matter how bad you're beating her, you can get caught and you could be put to sleep. So I thought Rose a great fight.
Rose was winning the first fight and got dropped on her head.
Her personal life too. So that was like, are you going to come in with your head on straight and be able to focus? Because that would be tough to do with the stuff that she's went through recently. With I guess she had some deaths in her family. So
from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, hey guys, you're watching Cage Talk with Christopher James, our UFC 251 recap show. We are here with Island Fight CEO Dean Toole, aka Mr. Masvidal won. And just to clarify why Masvidal won, because he didn't get exactly what he wanted on the end, and he came out and said that, but he got this close to what he was asking for in the first place. So he got a big paycheck. He elevated his brand, and I guarantee, I put up a poll the other day. How many more?
What do they do now?
Say again?
Win-win situation.
Yeah.
So what do they do now? They go match him with a rematch against Diaz. He makes another millions of dollars, and then the fight with Colby is there. There's huge matchups for him. Maybe Conor says, hey, I can't fight Khabib or anybody. That guy will fight me. He's not going to try to hug me against the cage. I want to fight Masvidal. Make that fight happen. There's so many different situations and scenarios for huge money fights with him still.
Yep.
It was a win-win situation all the way across the board. He got almost what he wanted to get paid to begin with. Took the fight on 6 days notice. You could tell he was pretty tired after the first round and a half, and win-win, straight to the bank.
Yeah, and he taking that fight on the short notice, he probably added an extra 500,000 pay-per-views. I fully believe the buzz that he brought added 500,000 pay-per-views to the number. And I'm guaranteeing that, FRM made sure he got a piece of that pay-per-view. So he's going to make some cheddar this one.
He got a piece of pay-per-view.
He definitely, he got what he wanted. He's going to end up. I know. I know. He'll probably end up making more from the fight than he probably even thought because of the additional pay-per-view revenue. Because he put the buzz on that card like nobody's business. Dana even said he could be this fight was trending like a Conor McGregor Khabib fight.
Well, look, bars aren't open.
Great.
That's where you go in a bar and watch a fight. It's filled with packed through the door. You can't even get in the place. Buffalo Wild Wings, sometimes when they have the big fights, the McGregor fights or whatever, Buffalo Wild Wings, Twin Peaks, you can't even get inside. It's so packed, right? So that's how many people watching the pay-per-view. Nobody can go to these bars. No one can go to these restaurants. Every single person, when I wrote that Max won the fight 3-2 and he's probably going to be robbed, look how many people commented, Rob. You're not commenting on Facebook if you're out at a bar watching the fight.
Nope.
So all these people are at home watching the pay-per-view. Everybody's ordering the pay-per-view. This had to do 800K to like 1.2 million, somewhere in that range.
Easily. I'm going to say definitely $1 million. I think 800K is selling it short, in my opinion. I really think they hit $1 million on this.
Like ESPN Plus is is very, very hard. Like a 700,000 pay-per-views on ESPN Plus is like a 1.4 million back when it was on in demand and you could buy
Sure.
it through the digital UFC Fight Pass app. Like if if 800K is like a 1.6 million
Well,
back in
there
the
you go.
day, you know? So if I think it's probably in like I'm saying it's in that range, 850 to 1.2. If it's
Fucking awesome.
1.2,
Phew.
crazy money.
That's cheddar. And
Crazy.
think last
Just
year,
the just the base.
last year we had Masvidal and
Crazy.
Pettis in our ring doing grappling match for charity, and dude just
Yeah.
dude just got. I think he should come back to Pensacola and buy us
Had
all dinner.
163,000 followers on Instagram back then.
Yeah.
He's got
Now
he's
he's
got 2.1 like 2 days ago. I don't. He probably has 2.4, 2.5. Who knows what he has now? You know.
crazy. Just
But
his brand keeps blowing up.
but if he would have won that fight tonight, I mean,
If he would have
change.
won that fight, he would have had Conor McGregor control. I mean, he really would have.
Yeah, he would have had that fight.
Yep.
With McGregor, I got the 170 belt. You won the 145, 155. Now I have 170. That's
Yep.
3 titles, 3 different weight classes. Like never done ever. You know, they keep preaching that this McGregor Khabib is going to be the biggest fight. Masvidal McGregor would be the biggest fight
Yeah.
ever.
Definitely.
And
All right.
still,
So now back.
it didn't really lose value. A lot of people are like, "Oh, he lost his hype." No, no way. Like people love Masvidal.
He
Like,
didn't lose any hype. If anything, he gained.
yeah,
Even in loss, he gained financially, but branding
goes in
wise. I
there
mean,
to fight. People are like, "Oh, he got wrecked. He got mauled." I'm like, and like, who's gonna pay to watch that again?
no
Not
one.
not that fight.
Not that fight. No.
Look, I'm not taking anything away with Usman. Usman is a savage, and nobody has an answer for it. You know, I think Gilbert Burns will beat Usman
I do
stylistically.
too.
You know, but I don't think anybody else could beat Usman stylistically. It's going to be pretty tough. Colby actually gave him a very, very, very close fight. You know, but I don't know. Usman's really good. He's going to be hard to beat, but people want to watch George Masvidal fight. This is the fight entertainment business, sports entertainment. Like you want to be entertained, you know.
Yep.
So
I'd wait for him to pop up and go, "Were you not entertained?" Because he popped that out. And let me fix this banner here. Oops. So Peter Yan and Jose Aldo. I picked Aldo to win. He looked good in the first round and almost into the second round, and then he stopped kicking.
yeah, I thought he had. I thought it was 2-2. A lot of people were saying 3-1. I thought the second round Aldo whooped him like the first 2.5 minutes. So you
Yep.
got to look at the whole 5 minutes. What happened within the whole 5 minutes? I think Aldo whooped him really bad the first 2.5 minutes, and then Volkanovski started winning the second half of the round. So it could have
No,
been even, whatever.
Peter Yan, not Volkanovski. Wrong fight.
Yeah, shit, my bad. Um, my bad. But yeah, I had it 2-2, and then he just started really fading in the fourth. You could tell like I don't know, something happened or he just kind of gassed out. But he looked great. Like looked like he was throwing leg kicks again. He should have kept throwing them. I don't know why. You
I
know,
don't know why he stopped.
I'm not
He he
Aldo, but I just
he
don't
was
get it.
damaging. He was damaging Peter Yan, and Yan even mentioned in his post fight interview. He goes, he started kicking me when I started feeling those kicks. I had to really adjust my game plan through a translator, of course, because I
And
don't
then
speak any
Jan
English.
has he has that huge big right hand, like an amazing right hand, and he couldn't effectively set that up anymore. So then he was trying to throw this left hand. I mean, and then when he was doing that, Aldo was tilting and throwing the tilt to the body. He was wrecking the body. It was beautiful, you know. And then
Yeah, he was
I don't
ripping the
know.
body. Reminded me,
I
I
don't
know
know when
Aldo's on a
he
different
just started
level.
to fade out of nowhere. It's kind of odd.
Yep. He's on a different level, obviously, than the kid I'm going to mention. But Devin Cushing, who boxes with us at Island Fights, he rips the body. And that when I've seen Devin so much up close ripping the body, and I know Aldo's, definitely on a different level, but it's the same kind of thing. Like Devin
Called
gets it, ripping the body,
tilt
ripping the body and
45.
the jab.
Tilt 45 is what they call it. But yeah,
Crazy.
he's I don't know. I thought he looked great. Now I hate when people are like, Aldo should retire. I'm like, what? This dude's 33 years old. Like, you know how young that is?
Yeah. He's still
5
in
years
fight
younger
prime.
than me.
He's fight prime still. I mean, he's still a
Yeah,
prime
he's got like
athlete.
3 more years of prime. People get in their prime a lot later. People age completely differently. When I was growing up and you showed me a picture of a 30-year-old, they look like they were 50, you know?
Yep.
Now, you look at a 40-year-old and they look like they're 20. It's
Yep.
crazy. So,
Yeah, I'm a 50-year-old. I look like I'm
50 is the
47.
new 20, so a couple years I'm going to be 20, get started.
All right, co-main event: Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. I did not like the decision on this fight. Max came out and I felt clearly won the first 3 rounds. Volkanovski came back and won the second 2. I don't know how the judge. I guess you got to finish the champ. I guess that old adage comes in, but Max really won the first 3 rounds. I can't even
Yeah.
deny that.
Yeah, and then people are like, "How it's not a robbery? It was close." I'm like, if someone wins 3 rounds and the other guy wins two, the guy won the fight. You stole the fight from him.
Right.
Like it's bullshit. And now Max is gonna have. They're not gonna give him a third rematch,
No, you can't.
and he's gonna have to go. Who's he gonna fight now? I mean, I don't know. It's just dumb.
Yeah, and it sucks because he did win the fight. Somebody was bitching on Facebook about the robbery thing. Oh, stop using the term robbery. So I was like, well, Max won the fight, so all right, I'll call it grand larceny, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, you got robbed. If if I steal a quarter out of your pocket,
I got
whether it's a
robbed.
quarter or $1,000, you got robbed. So
It's just petty or grand larceny. This was grand larceny. I felt, and
just bullshit. I thought he did great. He looked so good in the first 2 rounds. He was doing great, but he was focused. Landing those knees were landing. Everything was landing. So it
yeah,
was
he
a
did a
great fight.
phenomenal
The whole
job.
card though was awesome tonight.
Yeah, there was another fight. Muslim Salikov versus Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. That the judges got wrong. Dos Santos won that fight, and they gave it to Sokolov. And I don't even, I went back and looked at the numbers after, and everything leaned on. I don't know how these guys have jobs judging fights, Dean.
Because they get paid $150.
They got to do
UFC
something better. They
doesn't
have to
matter.
change the system
If
because it's
Island
not fair to
fights
the fighters.
UFC, they get $150. Like, how's it gonna get better? Everybody's like, well, the fighters should judge. I'm like, what fighter? You think John Jones makes millions of bucks when he's done fighting is gonna go judge a fight for I think it's $125. So like
Yeah, you never know. Can you imagine going to a fight? You got John Jones and Michael Bisping as the judges of your fights. I mean,
Frank Trigg is a judge.
Frank Trigg is a ref and a judge, and
Yep.
Trigg has been doing a phenomenal job as a
Yeah, he's
referee.
awesome.
Hats off to that guy. He's a legendary fighter, put in a lot of time, and
He
now
did our
he's giving back.
quintet grappling event also.
Yep, and he's
One of the
giving
refs.
back by being a ref because he's trying to help grow the sport the right way and give the future athletes and that current athletes the fair shake that they deserve. That all these guys deserve, and that's I think that's all we ask. I think you would agree with me. The judges are going to make mistakes periodically, but the frequency that they've been coming out recently is just disenchanting. And the fighters are the ones that get screwed the most. I mean, fucking like tonight, like I picked Volkanovski to win.
Look,
I was happy.
It sucks. I believe it sucks even more on like the regional scene, because these guys they're trying to get to the UFC. You get robbed on a card. It's like it's everything. You have no idea what a loss will do to a young athlete that's a professional trying to get to the UFC. You hit 4 or 5 losses and your shot might be done.
Yeah.
So you hit 5 or 6 losses, really tough to get into the UFC. You'd have to go on like a 10, 11 fight win streak to get in. So
yeah, and if
I've
the
seen it
judge
happen
screws up,
so many times.
let's say the judge screws you twice, and you're like you're 8-0 and now you're 8-2. When you lose those 2 fights, it changes the trajectory of your career. You still might get there, but now you got to go through more drama to get there when you should have been there because you probably should have won.
It's like playing Mario Brothers, man. And as soon as if you lose, you got to start back at the beginning,
Yep.
And then I don't know how familiar with that everyone else is with the fight business, but if you are, let's say you're 8-2 or 8-1 or 8-0 or whatever, and you lose. Now you got to win at least two, maybe three,
Yeah.
to get back. And then when you're 8-0 or 8-1 at that point, you're not fighting 0-4 guys. Like no one's gonna. First of all, it's hard. Going to be very hard to get an opponent at 8-0.
Yep.
And so when you do get one, you're probably going to fight like a journeyman guy, regional journeyman guy. It's like an 11-9 guy or one of those type of records. And those people are still tough as nails, pose a lot of problems, and they could derail and you might not be as motivated. So
True.
a bunch of shit that can happen with a bad decision.
So, as a promoter, I know you hate when you see bad decisions for fighters on either side, whether it's somebody that you're actually promoting or any fighter. What's your thought on how they fix the judging problem? Is there a fix for this?
Yeah, there is. There's you make all the judges. First of all, to become a judge, all you have to do is sit ringside and judge rounds. You have to sit ringside for I think 200 rounds
Right.
of fights, right? So you might be filling out your own judge's scorecard. I forget how they do it, but I just don't think it's like anybody can become a judge. It's just crazy. All you have to do is sit ringside and trail another judge, right?
And pay for a license.
Yeah, it's like if you're a waiter at a restaurant and you have two waitresses walk up and they say, "Oh, this girl's in training. She's gonna be taking your order with me." Like that's how you become a judge. You have somebody that's trailing you for 200 rounds, but that doesn't mean they know shit about anything. So
Correct.
I think they
No
should sit
experience
in
in
a
the
movie
fight game.
theater. They should sit in a movie theater and they should watch like 200 fights and they should literally judge every single fight. They should have a couple seminars with grappling people, wrestling people, striking people, advancement of position and takedowns. And what do you do after the takedown? Are they landing strikes from the bottom? Like who's doing the most effective damage? Like it's a bunch of different things that they need to know, you know? Like I don't know. That's what should happen. Then they should watch all the fights in a movie theater, score 200 fights. When they're done with the 200 fights and they get a 90% or better, like it should be like 94% or better, or you
Right.
shouldn't be a judge. And I think that's how you should make them become judges.
I would be happy with even 90%. I mean, at this point, because a lot of guys aren't even hitting that now, and they're professional judges with careers in their hands. So, it's like,
Look, I've judged some fights before, okay? And let me just tell you, it's the honest to God's truth. This is why I don't judge fights. I have ADD worse than anybody on the planet. So I'm watching a fight. Boom. My mind just goes down a rabbit hole. I'm not even watching the fight. So then at the end of the round, I'm like, I just flip a coin. It happened to me before. These were amateurs years ago. So I'm sorry to those people. But it happens.
That's hysterical. So the other night, I had the honor of having Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship president Dave Feldman came on the show the other day, unannounced. He just was watching me talk to Caleb Harris and Elvin Brito, and he popped up and he came on. And we were talking about the trajectory of what they got going. He dropped the breaking news that they were going to Thailand and heading over to Asia, which was really nice for him to give us some, exclusive information to pop out.
The UK also.
Yeah, and then the UK. He didn't drop the UK on my show. He dropped that like 2 days later. But that's okay. I mean, he gave me Thailand, so I was happy with that. He also said that this week coming up, they're going to announce the biggest offer to an athlete that they're trying to acquire ever. He talked about Mike Tyson, that was a real offer. He really goes, look, he goes, just the fact that I got to even get into talks with Mike Tyson, that was a fucking goal for me, and he was really excited about that. But he did drop another little bombshell. He said that he's going to be bringing on more staff, and the names he mentioned were Dean Toole. He said he was going to be bringing you in to work with the company. He didn't say in what capacity. And I always, because we've been together at his events, and I always say, hey, if you ever need somebody to do something, reporting, backstage, whatever, I'll be happy to work for you. So he says to be good. Well, your name came up, and we're going to be reaching out to you too. I was like, well, that's cool. I can go work at BKFC and Island Fights, and I'll just be a happy motherfucker. But Can you give us a little more information as to what you're going to be doing with bare knuckle, or are you not allowed to say anything yet?
I would let Dave probably say.
I know you've provided a lot of talent for them, bringing in different.
I'm up there Wednesday, so
Huh?
I'll be up there. I'll be up there Wednesday, Philly.
Oh, in Philly, nice.
Meeting with them. So,
Sheena Star just popped on. She goes, "Haha, Dean's name." She loves your name, Masvidal 1. Like I said, I wrote an article about PFL the other day. They're not booking fights. They're off till next year, and that's if they come back, at any regular time. I said they should release these fighters. They're not releasing fighters. They're giving them a stipend of $1,000 a month. But I brought up David Feldman because David Feldman did something that promoters at, he's the biggest BKFC bare knuckle fighting promoter around. And he let Chase Sherman go to the UFC to fight because he couldn't offer him any fights right now. I felt that was the right thing to do, and I think PFL should follow that lead. Even if they do it like what's the word I'm looking for? Conditional, where you say.
I think he was under his contract with BKFC was exclusive for bare knuckle, I believe.
Right.
Only. So he was allowed to do MMA, or he's allowed to do that.
But David, David set that up for him. Is what I'm saying. Most promoters won't do that. Got a fight in the UFC, got a big win. We're happy to see the Vanilla Gorilla back. Island Fights veteran, BKFC, still the American heavyweight champion there. Got a big fight back. But I said PFL should, maybe do a conditional release where, if fighters can get fights right now, and right now there's going to be.
That's not the guy that won the heavyweight thing. Is in the UFC now. No.
Yeah, because he didn't re-sign, and he lost when he came to the UFC because he just fought recently. Tim.
Under your contract, they have to offer you 3 fights a year. Have to. So if they don't do that, you can get out of the contract. Anybody with a good manager, that's easy.
Well, I mean, but like
the UFC has to offer you, I think, 3 or 4 fights a year, mandatory.
Well, in their system, you're going to get 5 or 6 fights depending on how you can make it. Depending on how far you go in their tournament because of the way they're set up in a season. So it's not like a standard contract where like the UFC gives you 3 fights a year. You have to get those 3 fights after at least offer them to you, because these guys have the tournament, so they're all guaranteed 2 fights, in the tournament, and then if you win those 2, you move on. If you lose both of them, you're out, and but you're still under contract to them. You can't lose 2 fights and then go fight somewhere else. So I'm going to try to find a copy of their contract because I want to read it. Maybe Alex will let me read his, but so like Jason, or not Jason, who's the kid that won the featherweight title over there? Lance Palmer. He came out on Twitter, and that's what made me write my article because he's won $2 million plus, because each season he's won. So he's probably made $3 million at PFL over the last 2 seasons. Yeah, he should probably unless he's a complete, huh?
He should probably keep a good relationship with them.
I can't hear you.
I said he should probably keep a good relationship with them.
Absolutely, but even he is looking for fights, and I don't know if it's about the money. He just wants to go back to work.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be active, period. So I think it helps you more than it hurts you.
Yeah, I think they should let these guys go, and maybe tell them, right, look, we'll let you go fight for this promotion, 1 fight deal, and then if they want you again before we're ready to come back, we have to at least approve the fights. Give these guys some freedom, because I think that would endear them to the public, allowing these guys to go back to work, and saying, hey, we really care about our fighters, and we can't offer them anything right now. Like Feldman says, Feldman the other day on my show said, like, I've got guys that I can't get fights for, so I'm going to let them go fight somewhere if they can get a fight. I think that's the right attitude to have during this pandemic time.
I mean, we do the same thing. There's guys that I'd love to have on my show right now or through this whole pandemic, but I refer them to other companies all the time.
Yeah, this Sheena Star says she hopes she's going to make it down to Mississippi for the 24th week and then come to our show the following night in Pensacola.
Nice.
So
Sheena.
The other day when
I tried to change my name to Hillary Clinton is a cunt, but I don't know
how. Oh, that was the best T-shirt ever. You mentioned something the other day. We were talking about this. I think you popped up on the comments, said what I was doing the show. You said we were going to go. You got the PJ, the private jet. So are we going to Oxford, Mississippi, and then flying back to Pensacola, or is that just a dream and you were just fucking with my emotions?
Maybe we'll take the Island Fights van.
The van. Oh no. It's a 5.5 hour trip to Oxford, Mississippi.
Yeah, like 9 or 10 of us.
Yeah. Well, I'll drive because I'll be the only one sober.
I'll be sober.
No, you won't. If we're going up to see fights in
Oh,
Mississippi,
for sure. I drank on Monday out of nowhere.
there,
It was the
there's a
stupidest
casino.
decision of my
There's
life.
a casino in Oxford. So,
Is there?
yes. So yeah, so I'll drive. You go have cocktails and do like you did when we went to the Contender Series in Vegas. Go win like $2,500 on the blackjack tables in like 6 minutes, and then just buy us all dinner again. And I'm cool with that. That'll be like,
And then spend the 2,500 on sushi.
yeah, man, you were that was a fucking great night. Speaking of that night,
The
Phil
best
Road,
meal, one of the best meals I've ever had in my life.
that was fucking phenomenal, dude. You took me, you treated us all so well on that dinner, man. You know, you've taken us out to a fucking couple of good dinners. You know, I mean, McGuire's. You know, you every time I come to Pensacola, you always say, go to McGuire's, and I never went. And then we finally went. I went with you, and I kicked myself in the ass for not going all those other times you told me to go because, oh my God, fucking the food's phenomenal. But that sushi joint we ate at what was it, Bellagio?
Yellowtail at the Bellagio.
Oh my God,
One of the best restaurants on earth ever.
Yeah, but yeah, like when I said the casino, she started goes up. Dean is there. Wheels are turning. Yeah, it's hard for him to turn down a good casino and a cocktail, you know, but that's all right, man. As long as we make it back to
I'm
Pensacola.
not having a cocktail. I promise. I'm out. I'm not drinking anymore.
All right, so and
I drank Monday night. Okay, we had Dave Van Auken was here, Devin Adams was here, Ian was here, AC was here. Something happened. Something happened with our air conditioner at the office, so we had to call the people to come fix the air conditioner. So then they had to order some part that wouldn't be there until the following day to fix the air conditioner. So I said, well, let's just go to my house to finish matching.
you got quiet again.
I said something happened to our air conditioning at the office. This piece broke, and then the AC people came in and they're like, "Hey, we have to order this part. It won't be here till tomorrow." And Devin Adams had already came from where he lives. He lives almost an hour away or whatever. Dave Van Auken's he was from all the way from Daytona Beach. So everybody was at the office. We're like, well, let's just go to my house, finish matching the card and discussing everything there. And I had a bottle of Grey Goose from, I guess, like a couple months back. And we just all made a drink and made another drink and another drink. And yeah, I've only drank like a few times, which is probably alarming to you. But I've only drank like 3 times since December.
It's not alarming to me because you told me the only time you really do go drink is like, you know, after parties.
After the fight, yeah.
And periodically you have a night where you got some downtime, you'll have a cocktail here and there, like, you know, and sometimes you'll do the beach thing on Sunday. But yeah, I don't think you're like, you know, a big crazy drinker, but I do know when you do drink.
I used to party for sure.
No, you told me.
Yeah, but you know, not really anymore. But now, like, I'll be like, I'm going to the beach on Sunday, and then I end up at the office on
just
Sunday.
happens that way,
you know. So, and then hopefully once these, you know, we'll have this event, then we'll have our 10-year anniversary in September, and we'll be back to regular scheduled programming, and we're gonna end up going to, you know, Orange Beach again.
Nice.
Like I think our amateur show, we're gonna be expanding, so we're gonna be going back to Destin.
Nice.
Orange
That was a
Beach,
great venue.
and we're gonna keep like a current rotation because our YouTube channel for our amateur stuff does really well. So I want to keep the amateurs competing. I mean, that's the thing with our amateur show. It's not local people. We don't give a shit who sells a ticket. We bring them in. This card we have coming up, they're flying in from Vegas, Pittsburgh, Indiana, New Jersey, South Carolina. They're from all over. Our main event is Xander Schenk versus this what's his name? Corey. He's like 8-0, the number one 135 pounder in the country. So
That's
like,
crazy. You know,
Like
and
we're
you know
we're
what's funny?
doing it big time on the amateur stuff.
Yeah,
But
and you know it's funny because even with all of our amateur shows that we've done and our pro shows, you've never been afraid to do that. Bring in talent from anywhere. People say, "Well, you're based in Pensacola, so you're just putting on regional fighters." Well, we have some local guys that we get some local guys. We get some guys from surrounding states, but you bring in guys from
our
Vegas, from
show in August,
California.
remember August?
You brought in guys from out of the country.
Yeah, well, you remember our August show, Pensacola Bay Center?
Yep.
Yeah, Kleckler fought on the card and Cade Howell fought on the card, but they weren't on the TV card.
Nope.
No one else on the whole entire card was a local.
That's right.
A pro card. Not one ticket sold from an athlete from that card. So um, we're just trying to bring in the best people, especially once our Fight Pass stuff starts running again.
Yep.
Once we, get everything figured out, like the best guys or girls in the country. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to send as many people to the UFC as possible.
Yeah, and you've done a phenomenal job at that. Since I've come to work for you, you really take pride in that. You're not one of those asshole promoters that's going to hold a guy back because he might sell you a few tickets. You want him to go to the UFC or go to Bellator or go to one. Somebody that's going to elevate their career, and that's what you always do.
Yeah, we don't care if they sell tickets. We never really have. I mean, if they want to sell tickets so they can make the extra money, awesome. We want them to do it because it benefits them. Like I don't care who sells the ticket. We've got some of the best fighters ever that sell like 4 tickets, and it doesn't matter. Like no one cares. We just want to put on good fights. So.
Yeah, and we always do that. I mean, like I said, that's one of my favorite things about
And
working
look,
with
we're a
you.
feeder system to the UFC, and we want our amateur circuit to be a feeder system to
To our
Island
pro shows.
Fights. Yeah, so
Build these kids from the beginning, like you were talking about, like a
we
Paige
need to
Van
have a
Zandt.
show. We need to have one every month, and I think we'll start to do that the more we expand. So we're definitely going to be expanding our amateur events 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I don't
smart.
care. I don't care if 0 people are in the crowd ever. We're going to do the shows wherever we do them. So.
Anybody wants to have a good fight card, they'll invite us down and we'll go out there and put on a show like we always do. Overall, what's your thoughts on everything the UFC has done since coming back? They started in Jacksonville, Florida hosted them. Because of that, when they do start doing fans again, the UFC promised they're going to come back here and give us a huge pay-per-view, which is great for MMA in the state of Florida. Because it just, that's a good thing. But overall, what's your thoughts on what they've done? What'd you say?
They say that.
Hey, I believe them because of the situation. We gave them a place to fight. And just like they said, what was the hotel they were supposed to on the Indian reservation in California before the governor and Disney fucking ganged up on ESPN and the UFC?
Yeah.
Tai Chi Palace fights.
Yep.
They promised them because Tai Chi Palace fights rolled with Dana and said, "We got you." So Dana promised them a big pay-per-view, and I believe Dana. Dana says some stuff, and sometimes you got to go. Women are never going to be in the UFC
there, but I think he'll bring a UFC. They bring a UFC event, it doesn't matter if it's Florida, anywhere. It's such a huge boost for the economy. ESPN card or pay-per-view, it's awesome either way. But when you have New York, who
I'll read it to you. It says, Island Fights are well known for being one of the best promotions nationwide. She's from Michigan, and the local people in Michigan mention Island Fights often.
Awesome.
That's because you do good shit, bro.
That's
why you're the Mahdi.
Damn, what was I just saying? Oh yeah, I'm saying look, New York hasn't had a card.
Nope.
And there's 3 killer markets in New York. Buffalo, killer.
Yep. New York City, killer.
MSG, killer. Yep. Barclays,
Brooklyn, killer.
Sells out instantly.
Even the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island sells out. So
yes, you have that, and you have Vegas. And you have Raider Stadium coming soon.
Yeah.
So you have T-Mobile Arena. They get paid to do fights in Vegas.
Yep.
They pay these other venues. In Vegas, they get paid. That's why 90% of the pay-per-views are in Vegas. They get great money. They make more money off of their site fee than most of the gates that they do anywhere.
which is
So
crazy.
why would they do a fight anywhere else? That's why,
I
like
would
when Floyd Mayweather used to fight, he was getting $20 million from MGM to do his
just
fight
just
because
to
they're
put
doing $1 billion in revenue on a Mayweather fight weekend in Las Vegas. $1 billion is running through those casinos that weekend. So of course he's getting a Bugatti and $20 million site fee every single time he fought. Well,
every single time.
his last 3 or 4 fights for sure.
Yeah, and and that's great. I mean, they got, and right now with everything going on in New York is a fucking democratic mess. So the UFC probably ain't going back there for a while, because they're not going to open up for them to do it. So it's going to be Vegas, someplace in Florida, and Fight Island. I think that's going to be the 3 destinations we see fights taking place for the next few months. They'll rotate the schedule around, and no fans in attendance, although here in Florida now we can add some fans, boom, 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 so half capacity. So that'll be cool. But they're going to go to places where they're welcome and they're treated with respect. And Florida will treat them with respect. Obviously, they got their own building in the Apex.
It's essential for sports.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you're not battling. Man, I'm a week out from a fight. Are they going to shut me down? That would be a big concern.
Yep.
Putting on a professional event.
But now they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised that they went to Jacksonville and the ViStar Arena. It's a cool arena. But because there was going to be no fans, I just, I threw a thought out there. I thought they might reach out to the WWE and go to their performance center in Orlando, because that's built, and basically it's like the Apex for the UFC. It's built, it's got TV production, everything they need there, training center, boom, boom, boom. I thought it would be a great match for them, because they wouldn't have to go crazy about doing all the stuff, getting trucks and, the satellite trucks, as when we do Fight Pass. That's all built into this building. I thought it made good sense. But they did Jacksonville, and phenomenal cards up there. 3 great cards up there, which is good fight nights. Damn, watching Justin Gaethje and fucking Tony Ferguson.
Well, I think the reason they didn't do that is because I guess Bob Arum came out and said that he's good friends with Vince and he was going to do fights there, and Dana fucking hates Bob Arum.
Yeah, I know.
So,
it's like a high school
didn't do it because of that. But yeah, once it became essential, where else are you going to do them? So I think it's awesome that that it's like that in our state.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing is a lot of shows are coming here to do events. There's a lot of shows coming up. There's another show coming to Miami or something that's like really, really, really good persons. I think it's XFC or something like, or XC MMA something. I forget the name of it, but
well, the Global Fights has an
good
event coming up. Company called Global Fight. They have an event coming up here in South Florida.
Yeah, it's not global. It's like XC MMA or XFC. Some Brazil.
It's not XFC because they're not ready to go back to business yet.
Okay, well, it's some company from Brazil that's coming here and putting on an event, and
that's cool.
Paying really good purses. So, any opportunity for pro athletes to fight is a good thing. It doesn't matter which promotion or for who. Like, if they get to compete, awesome. Kudos to the promoters putting on the show. I think Lex has put on 2 events. He's got his 3rd one coming up.
I think he did 1. The second one's coming up.
No, he just did the second one Friday.
Oh, no. This past Friday?
Or no,
that was LFA this past Friday.
No, he's done 2. He did 1 at MMA Masters, and he did the second one in like a hotel ballroom or something. And then he has another one July 24th and another one in August. Yeah, because I helped. I got Odie Delaney on his July 24th card. Yeah, he just had a card because I sent him his masks. It was like last week, 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, there was one 2 weeks ago, but I didn't remember the one in MMA Master. I thought that was their first show back.
No, they had one in MMA Masters, and then they just had another one because I sent Lex his mask, the Titan FC mask.
I know. It's on post on Facebook. He needed a mask, and you said you got him. DJ Queasy, our Island Fights resident DJ, said July 25th, baby. Max was robbed. Masvidal is still the BMF.
Absolutely.
All those things are true. DJ Queasy.
That's who I miss, man. I miss DJ Queasy.
Yep. Out of all the people, just DJ Queasy. DJ Queasy, he misses you, bro.
Just him only.
Just him. That's why I said just him. I mean, so anything going on with the office with Ian? Has he quit this week or is that over? Has he stopped quitting?
I don't know. We don't even speak anymore. So
yeah, I saw you got your new washer and dryer, and fucking Mike Metz fucking comment goes, well, now I know Ian will be on Thursday. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
that was a savage comment. I laughed really hard. I just
It was savage. No, that was brutally savage. I was like, oh my God, man. It's crazy. So Phil, we're trying to get that before I almost forgot. Phil Rowe just has a little baby. How adorable is that little girl?
Awesome. Amazing.
Mike Barnett's wife just had their first daughter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people are having babies, little girls. You already know about that. You're a girl dad. You got two little girls.
Dylan just had another girl.
Oh my God, that's right. Dylan Klecker just had another girl. Your son was swimming in the pool the other day. I saw that video.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
Michael Phelps.
He's crazy. That kid. He's little, right in.
Crazy.
No fear.
Jumps straight off the diving board into the deep end. Swims to the end. It's wild. I mean, he turns 3 in like a month, but I'm still counting him as he's 2. He's 2.
Yeah, because he is 2. Until he's 3, he's 2. DJ said Ian is going to snap one day.
Dude, Ian snaps once a week.
That's only when you guys steal his roller skates. I mean,
Yeah.
Mike Caps says Island Fights. Do you know this guy, Mike Caps?
Mike Caps from the Pensacola Bay Center?
I don't know.
The GM of the Pensacola Bay Center.
Ah. He put Island Fights. They put 2 laughing faces. I got to make sure that's who this guy is. Man. Yeah. Facebook's all fucked up. Anyway, so anything else that any other information you want to drop on us? Maybe a plan for something special for the September 10-year anniversary. Is there something you can tell us kind of way ahead of time that is going to be exciting?
I mean, it'll be on UFC Fight Pass. So it should be a bring back some vets.
Some OGs. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Stay tuned. So, and we still got. I want to make sure this event runs off without a hitch coming up. So,
yeah, I don't think you're gonna have any problems with this event. I mean, it's an amateur show, so we have a little more control of things, and everybody that works on the team knows how to do the event, so we should be smooth. Even at 50% capacity, it's going to be a fun time.
Well, I got to go to. It sucks because I have to go 5.5 hours to bare knuckle the day before, miss weigh-ins potentially, and then come back. So.
Oh, you might miss the weigh-ins for Pensacola?
Yeah, I got to drive. That fight's the day before.
Right, but our weigh-ins. So just do the weigh-ins early.
I know, but our weigh-ins are normally at 5 o'clock.
All right, well,
get to Oxford by 11. I wouldn't get there till 11 p.m. Fights would be over.
All right, cool. Well, I'm just have Ian do the weigh-ins, get the information. I'll drive you up to the fucking fights. We'll go fucking watch bare knuckle. Then we'll drive back late night. You can in the car after we hit the casino first. That'd be a good time. You know what we should do, Dean? You should just rent a bus and put all the fighters on a bus and drive up to Mississippi in the morning, weigh in all the fighters right outside the arena, and then we'll just go to watch the fights. The Island Fights traveling fight show.
Yeah, I mean, I got to see if they can run the weigh-ins. I mean, Devin and Ian, I think, have been running the weigh-ins pretty good anyway, so.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, listen. It's good to see you. I was still waiting for that phone call back, but this is better because I get to see your face. So, and guys, when Dean says he has ADD really bad, like the worst on the earth, he's telling you the truth, man. He'll tell you this and he'll tell you that, and then he's off somewhere else. Like you said, you go down a rabbit hole sometimes. He'll tell everybody, you can ask everybody that works with him. Dean will say, all right, I'll call you back. or I'll text you later. And then it's like 7 days because he gets busy. He's got shit going on. So you got 3 kids, you got the fight business, you got the house. House looks, the house looks good, dude. The kitchen looks fucking phenomenal. And I like the bank thing you bought to stash your money in, to save money, and you can't use it and when you open it, it's broken and you can't ever use it again. There it is. Right there next to the bed. That's a good spot. I like the other things right there too. Yep. Don't go knocking on Dean's door. Well, you probably don't even need the gun. You just ankle pick a motherfucker.
Yeah, that happened to Devin Adams the other night.
Devin Adams. Yeah, I heard. David. No, who was it that told me? It was David on my show the other day. They were talking. They were commenting about you and Devin going at it in the office, and that you beat him.
I was in my living room.
Couldn't hear you.
It was in my living room.
In the living room.
Yeah, I cheated. I cheated. I pulled his sweater over his head.
That's not cheating. That's hockey fight. That's all legit.
Yeah,
it's like fighting in the gi. You can use the gi. I mean, fuck it.
This was definitely cheating.
All right, Sheena, you have a good night too. Sheena said, "Have a great rest of our night. Be safe. Be
have
well."
Good night, Sheena. Good to hear from you.
Travels to Philly. Have you ever been to Philly?
Yep.
Philly's a pretty cool town.
I'm going to get me a
cheesesteak at Geno's. Geno's, right? Pat's. You got to go to both.
I don't think I've been to Geno's. I've only been to Pat's.
You got to go to both, man. You got to do the comparison.
Yeah. Well, I heard that there's a better place, Jim's.
Yep, that's another good one. But when you get there,
a bunch of good places. But
this is what I want you to do when you get there. I want you to go get a cheesesteak.
Guy or a cheese whiz guy?
Yeah. Wait, say that again.
Are you a provolone guy or a cheese
I'm a provolone or white American over the cheese whiz. But the cheese whiz
is American's a big thing too. Yeah.
But the cheese whiz is still good, at some of the places if they do it right. But this is what I want you to do when you get there. I want you to go get a cheesesteak, start munching on it, and run up the stairs to the Rocky Trophy while you're eating a cheesesteak.
That's in Philly?
Yeah.
I thought that was in Washington, D.C.
Rocky's Philly, man.
Fuck me, dude. Look, you're talking to a dude who's been to Paris twice and hasn't seen the Eiffel Tower.
You didn't even see it when you flew in?
Or when I got off the plane and left the airport. Went straight to the bar.
Well, you had to. You were on a long flight. I mean, you got to decompress. That's legit. You were over there for a wedding.
Yeah, and both times I was with Ian, so he hasn't seen the Eiffel Tower either.
Well, maybe you guys should plan a bro trip.
Remember that picture? You don't remember that picture of him trying to get the waitress to be our ring girl?
Oh my God, I totally do.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
It's at the art. She said the Eiffel Tower is at the art museum, Dean.
The Eiffel Tower or the Rocky thing?
The Eiffel Tower, Sheena, or the Rocky thing? What are you talking about? I thought she was leaving and going to bed. She just can't get enough. She'll be up like in 2 hours from now. She'll wake up and she'll just go live because she can't sleep. Haunted prisons in Philly too. Lots of awesome shit there. So I guess she's talking about the Rocky thing is at the art museum. She loves. Yeah. So yeah, so you got to go there.
I definitely want to eat a cheesesteak, but it's got to be. I like the real cheese whiz. Shit is awesome, So
yeah, I mean, they're the cool.
Definitely no onions.
No, fuck onions, fuck pickles, fuck mustard.
I seen you eat something recently that was had something disgusting on it. Forgot to comment on it.
Yeah, the wife. We like to go eat
recently that had something on it. It had onions or something, peppers and onions or something.
No, I don't ever eat anything with peppers and onions. I'm allergic to onions. I would die.
Something gross.
Yeah, I don't like onions. And I allergic to
mustard.
No, never mustard either. I don't even like mayonnaise.
I should start a podcast of I hate onions, pickles, and mustard.
And mayo. I
You
would
could
add
put
mayo
mayo
to
in
it.
there too. You could put
Yeah.
mayo in there too. I'd be down with that.
The only time
So
I'll
what
do mayo.
spaghetti sauce do you eat?
Say again.
What spaghetti sauce do you eat?
Um, we get a spaghetti sauce at Publix. It's like a premium from Brooklyn, New York. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like $9 a jar. It's really good. Fucking don't have to add any other
No
season.
onion?
No onions.
You sure?
Positive.
Every spaghetti sauce, I always find little onions in it. It's fucking
When I
amazing.
come up for this show, I will bring you a jar of this sauce. No onions. You'll be happy. It's good stuff.
You know, I just recently ate spaghetti the past year and a half. First time ever in my life.
In your life,
Yeah.
you've never had spaghetti your whole entire life.
No, because the spaghetti sauce always has onions in it.
Okay. And
And let me
so,
tell you, spaghetti's amazing.
fuck yeah, it is, dude. Pasta's a fucking shit.
Oh,
Lasagna.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's my thing. How can you have lasagna? I've never eaten lasagna.
Oh my God. Dude, you're missing so much in life.
I've peeled off like pieces of it, you know.
Just the
don't know.
noodle layer.
Such a
With a little
picky
cheese on it. All right, I'm gonna bring you 2 jars of sauce, so this way you can do spaghetti 2 different days. But yeah, this stuff doesn't have onions in it, and it's actually I found this stuff when I was doing my wheat belly diet because I can't have onions, and I can't have any like sugar added to the sauce, and this sauce fills that bill. Because when you make a tomato sauce, to cut the acidity, they use a little bit of sugar. So, but this doesn't have any, but it doesn't have the acidic problem.
You ever make your own spaghetti sauce?
I used to.
Like with tomato paste and
Yep, the whole thing. I used to make it. My mom gave me a recipe, but it's just up until I married my wife, and she was living here, I always lived by myself, and just making fucking 15 gallons of sauce because the recipe she gave me, I couldn't break it down. It was like 10 gallons. I had to make 10 gallons of sauce every time, and you can only freeze so much of it, and you got to put other shit in the freezer. So I stopped doing it. But I found this sauce, and over the years, I've had a couple other sauces. Like I used to eat Paul Newman's marinara sauce. It has like a onion powder in it. I don't think it has real onions, and I could deal with that. That doesn't bother me.
oh, I love onion flavor. I love onion powder. I love that. I just can't fuck with the onions texture.
Yeah. No, onions, pickles, mustard, suck a dick. That's just the fucking bottom line.
Yeah, you should.
But and we were talking about mayo. I can only do mayo if I'm eating tuna fish because you gotta have something to stick the tuna fish together. But minimal.
I used to do that. Now I can't even do that anymore. I think if I made the mayo, handmade it myself, and watched the process, I wouldn't be so freaked out about it.
Well, there's probably a YouTube video out there to show you how to fucking do it. Just the thing is, are you that motivated?
No, I don't really need mayo.
Nah.
So, good.
Oh man, I can't wait to get up there, man. I miss you guys. Like it fucking sucks, dude. We haven't been able to do anything. Fucking, I'm so glad. Our club is open finally, so we're just gotten back to work there.
I needed the break, man. I needed it. So
yeah,
I had been nonstop. I had a fight at least every 8 to 12 weeks for 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and there was fights that we never counted that were on the military base we were doing for a while, So like, I don't know, we had been doing them nonstop.
That's fucking awesome though. Yeah, it's good to take a little break once in a while, fucking. So the cool thing is that you didn't have to plan because if it were up to you, you would have never planned a break. You would have just kept working. So, for somebody like you who's focused on always working, the pandemic was
we tried. No one knows this, but we tried to book March 18th. So we tried to book March 18th, and the venue had a meeting and said they didn't feel comfortable doing it. So if they would have said that they were comfortable doing it, we would have went before the UFC.
That's true.
So we tried, believe me.
That's all you can do, man.
And then it got to the point where it was like, everybody was, hey, you gonna do a show?
Fighting?
And it was towards the end of the thing, and I'm like, Yeah, but if I book a show right now with no fans, and then a week before the event happens, they say we can have fans, it would just put us in a shitty situation. So I was like, it's like I'll just wait. What are you
Yeah.
smoking on?
Fucking weed, dude.
No, but what is it?
My little one
Blunt?
hitter.
Oh,
Little one hitter. Keeping the little dugout box.
nice.
Yeah, man. It fucking keeps me going. So I'm waiting for my wife right now. I just texted her. I told her, bring me some pie. Let's see if she delivers. She just made homemade chocolate cream pie. So
Oh,
I'm hoping that she'll bring me. I hope she's awake.
oh. So what's the deal? What's the deal with the club? The club not open?
Club is open.
When did it just open back up?
We opened a month ago. And
So you've been back to work?
yeah, but then a couple of my friends at the club, like 2 people got sick. So they tested, so then I had to go and test. And when I went with somebody, I tested positive. I was like, fuck, man, I haven't gotten sick. No cough, no fever, no loss of taste, nothing. I had the chills for 3 hours, and I was worried if I got it because I'm high risk, my heart attack, and, the cancer history and the leukemia, that if I hit it, I would die. So, um, it was like I've had a cold that was 1,000% worse. I've had the flu that was 1,000% worse. Like, I don't even think I was sick. I never had a fever, so um, I took the test and then yeah, so I just went back to work last week, and I worked last night and the night before, and I'm working tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm off Thursday, and then I work Friday because one of my buddies at the club, his parents are sick, so he's staying out to take care of them. They both ended up in the hospital, man. So my heart goes out to my buddy DJ Tom. So but we're open, man, and we're getting people coming in. It's a little tedious because we have to continue to remind them that they have to wear a mask. It's mandated. We don't like it. So that's all he was. Okay, look, guys, I know you don't like it. We don't like it either. We don't want to wear them. You don't want to wear them. But if we want to see naked girls, we got to wear
My
them.
whole opinion is like if we both have to wear a mask, right?
Yep.
Like if one of us doesn't want to wear one, but someone gets mad about it, the person that gets mad about it should just wear a mask,
Yeah.
right? Like if you're wearing a mask, it should protect you from me.
Yeah. The problem is the masks don't protect anybody. They just don't. It says it right on the boxes of all these
The
surgical masks that people are buying.
N95s with the little respirator thing are the only ones that do, but I don't know how
I
easy
have
those
I
are to
I
get.
have an N95 and an N100, the full like respirator thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are great.
Yeah,
They
but
do help.
I don't know how easy those are to get.
The big full respirator thing with the double things on the side. If you need one, let me know. I got a hookup. Holla.
Bring me one to the event.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna wear at the event.
Yeah, I tried wearing that one night at the club just to get on the mic. It's like Bane or like Bane and Darth Vader combined. You can't hear shit out of me. It's like, so I just wear the blue surgical mask, rip it down when I got to talk, but it does suck. I was thinking about wearing this. This one will just upset people. Hang on one second. It's Nacho Libre. But then somebody would say, "Hey, your mouth is still open." I'm like, "You didn't say couldn't wear a mask like this." So it was either this or the Spider-Man mask, and I could throw the glasses on. I mean, ugh.
Oh damn, we're counter programming TJ DeSantis. Shit, we just took
Uh-oh.
all the viewers from UFC Fight Pass Facebook page.
TJ, oh, hold on. TJ, what's up, brother, man? He's facepalm, man. Hey, TJ, I'm getting counter program. TJ DeSantis is the motherfucking man. He does our play-by-play for us at Island Fights on UFC Fight Pass, and he's also the man at
just bring TJ on.
TJ, you want to come on? Tell us yes or no, and I'll send you a link. I'm getting counter programmed by these two dudes. You didn't like the Nacho Libre thing? Damn, TJ. And I'm eating pie now.
Eating pie, smoking one-hitters.
My wife delivers, man. Nice. Life's a good thing. Life's a good thing. TJ don't want to come on. Well, TJ, just so you know, Dean said September, it's our 10-year anniversary. He goes, we can't. He said we can't afford his show money.
I know, man.
I totally believe that.
TJ done blew up. He won't even answer my phone calls anymore.
He's about to get in an Uber. Well, be safe in your Uber, Mr. TJ. And September, 10-year anniversary. Dean said we're going to be back on Fight Pass, so I guess we'll see you in September, either in Orange Beach or in Pensacola. He's awesome, dude. Him and Cole Miller, him and Dean Thomas, great combination. Either way you go.
Always.
I think we've been really fortunate with that, you know?
100%.
And then we'll get Thomas back in to do all the cameras and production. We'll be right on time. I can't wait, man. I can't wait for this show. TJ's clapping the hand. He's waving.
All right, well, I'm about to hit the sack.
All right, brother, man. Well, listen, thanks for jumping in and going over some fights with us. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
as like I said, Masvidal won.
If it wasn't 12:30 at night, I wouldn't have done it.
Oh, also, make sure you guys check out Fight Bananas. They've got like 9 offshoots of Fight Bananas at Fight Bananas overseas. I don't remember all the names of them. I know they got Bare Knuckles and Brews. They got the Morning Coffee and Cage or something. That's a new one he was doing. There's the gambling show with Garrett Kerman. I don't remember the name of that one, but they're putting out a lot of content.
Inside the Distance. The wrestling one. I forget the name of the wrestling one. There's a bunch of cool stuff on there. So.
Yep, Fight Bananas doing big things.
Content. David Van Auken, killer.
Yep, doing a good job. And he's got twin baby girls, and he's still getting shit done. And 2 boys.
How is that possible?
I don't even fucking know, dude.
Thing in the world.
Yep, being a parent is crazy. Being a parent to twins is insane. And then you got 2 other young ones.
Imagine packing that car up. Yeah. You know how hard it is to put 2 kids in a car?
Yeah, I do. Whew. I don't envy anybody that has to do it. And you got to put 4 in the car?
Yeah.
You got to put 3.
And all your kids require attention. So.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, your kids are awesome. Your daughters are crazy funny with their videos and stuff. They're learning how to market themselves now because Dad knows how to do that.
YouTube channel. They have. They both have TikToks that are absolutely hilarious. Private, of course.
That Corona song they did a couple weeks back or whatever, that was fucking hysterical.
Oh, fuck! I forgot about that.
All right, guys. So this is Island Fight CEO, and he's the man Dean Toole, a.k.a. Masvidal 1. We're coming back to Pensacola, July 25th, Haji Shrine. There are still some tickets available, so reach out to the Island Fight Facebook page or, hit Dean up on Facebook. Tell him you need a table. He'll deliver. Like other promoters, you can't reach in tough for stuff like that. But if you need to get a table or ticket, hit Dean up on the messenger. He will get you your seats. I think it's one of his favorite things about the fight game. He likes to be in touch with the fans.
We got a couple left. It's getting harder and harder, but I still try to do it as much as possible.
Can't hear you again. What happened? No, that one's bullshit, bro.
All right, later, bro.
Later, bro. That was Dean Toole, man. I love working with that guy, man. He's fucking awesome. And this pie I'm eating right now, my wife made me, fucking stellar. She knows I love chocolate cream pie. So I hope you guys enjoyed the post-fight show and some bonus stuff about island fights and some other things going on in the MMA world, judging and how we need to fix it. I might be back tomorrow and do another. Or this wasn't the preview. This was the recap. Excuse me, post-fight show. I might be back tomorrow to do another post-fight show in the afternoon with Jeff Neal and Justin James, who came on today and did the preview show with me. Justin James was stellar. But I hope you guys enjoyed the fight card tonight, man. UFC keeps delivering stellar content. Until next time, I am Christopher James. Thanks for tuning in with us and hanging out with me, allowing me to be a part of your life and you guys being a part of mine. I appreciate it. I'm out here in Yaz Island. And that's it. So until next time, I'm Christopher James. You've been Cage Side. Good night, y'all.